Hey, welcome back. Sorry, we had a little hiccup there with the video, so we're back now on the air with the visual as well. Okay, so let's talk about some of these other things. I mentioned it about, you guys were talking about injuries, and I kind of alluded to it. La Parka, not the original one, by the way. This is the new La Parka. Talk about what happened at a AAA show. Pretty scary stuff.
From what I saw in the video, he tried to do a dive from a second rope outside of the ring, and one of his ankles caught the rope, and he dove headfirst right into the guardrail.
Not good.
Steel railing and skin does not always make for a good show.
No,
not at all.
Not at all.
There
right.
was no movement. There was I saw the video too. No movement whatsoever. They ended the match immediately. Called for EMTs. Had them come out, and unfortunately, he had to go right into surgery. Hopefully, and God willing, everything turns out for him and his family.
Absolutely.
Definitely prayers with La Parka.
So when you see the referee, if you're ever at a live event and you see them throw what we call the X sign like this, that's when you know that there's no more faking or anything going on. So
Something
again,
bad happened.
Something what Scott said at the top with these injuries, when you witness that, is wrestling really fake? These guys and gals are putting their lives and their livelihood and their bodies on the line, which then hurts their families and everything else. When you hear a broken neck, that's not good. That's not good.
Not at all.
So, okay, what else is on the indies you guys want to cover? You guys want to talk about Bound for Glory? You want to talk about well, the only thing really about Impact is what? Tessa wrestled?
Blanchard.
Right. So,
well, Impact is, I think, going back to their history of TNA.
Okay.
And they want to, they put an offer out to the Young Bucks to come back as Generation Me. And I honestly think there's nothing in it at all for AEW to do this. This is maybe a life raft, anchor, I don't know what, just to save Impact or kill it completely. The only thing that anybody cares about on Impact is Tessa. She's holding the company. The other people in Impact, Taya's doing great. That's John Morrison's wife. She is the women's champion. But people tune in for Tessa. And the other person that left the company, well, he's still with the company, but maybe out of the company, who knows. Killer Cross, God willing, hopefully you land somewhere good, WWE. Or AEW. But needless to say, what benefit would be, in your opinion, Matt? I mean, I'm always the heel here. You be the face. What benefit is it for
There is no benefit.
AE?
There's no benefit for AEW to help Impact at all. Is even when the Bucks were in TNA,
They were irrelevant.
they were irrelevant.
Yeah.
To actually do a TNA reunion thing, how are you going to do that without Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle?
yeah, and Vince ain't letting those guys go.
Because Vince ain't ever going to go for that. He is never going to send AJ Styles anywhere for any reason.
Unless it comes with the video library that he can take with him to put on the WWE network.
I did see a pretty interesting thing about AJ Styles. It was even on WWE's Instagram. Since he's been in WWE, he has held a championship for 51% of his whole run in WWE.
That's impressive. It shows he's a
He
company.
has been some form of
company guy,
champion over half of his career in WWE.
And we've got Justin out there.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Justin. I'm glad you mentioned him. Justin. I see all the time at BVW events, and he's a great follower of wrestling. He follows us here. He's a fan of our show. He follows me on Twin Brothers. He's a great guy. I met his son this past week at the BVW event. And Justin, I want to just thank you for being part of our world here in the podcast world and following us and checking in. And he asked me, he puts out here, he says, what's up, powerlifter? Well, he actually knows about my surgery. And yesterday I graduated myself up to a 20-pound dumbbell for exercise. I went from 10 to 20.
How'd that work out for you?
How'd that work out for you? When the feeling comes back into my arm, I'll let you know. No, I'm only kidding. No, it feels fine. I actually did row machine too. I did the motion just to test it. No, that was fine. So I'm targeting Thanksgiving to get back into CrossFit. I hope to God.
Justin did put out there Joey Ryan.
Yeah. What did you mean by that, Justin?
Yeah.
What were you referring to?
Joey draws, but I am the worst Joey Ryan fan ever.
Is that the guy that uses his personal parts?
Yeah.
He's the personal
he
part
drives
guy.
a big truck somewhere because he's got nothing. Never. But yeah, he is, and to me, that's a gimmick. and not a good one for the wrestling industry. Joey's a great guy. Outside the ring, it's how he makes his living. God bless him. But personally, no.
It's like one of those things that are funny to see once, and then it's just stupid.
Yeah, then the gag is over, right?
Yeah.
Your guy, Joey Ryan, that he signed with Impact. Thank you, Justin, for clarifying. He has TDS.
What is TDS?
What is TDS, Justin? Your guy, Thomas Glenn, asked how much.
Chief, yeah.
Okay, how much longer is Tessa even there? I don't know what that means. Is that an Impact? Is that what he's asking?
That's the contract, and most of the people that have any pull in Impact, we'll call it Taya and Tessa. My understanding is the end of the year.
Oh,
Merry Christmas!
What do you want to see wrapped under your tree this year, WWE or AEW? Dare I ask? Okay,
I think Tessa going to WWE would ultimately be the best, because you could put the horsewomen together for real.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be awesome.
From a marketing standpoint, it certainly does. By the way, Justin responded to what TDS is, and I'll just let you guys read it in the chat room. I do not want to share that he wrote Tiny D syndrome. You can fill in the D. I did?
Yeah, you did.
That came out of my mouth loud?
Yes.
I meant to keep it in my head.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Thoughts count.
Oops. Thoughts count anyway. In my head and everything. And sometimes they slip out, which is what gets me in trouble. Okay. So, I mean, anything can happen. But, I mean, from a marketing standpoint, what's best for business, obviously, to get Tessa into the WWE and have that happen again would be tremendous. Okay, listen, guys, we only got about 15 minutes left. So what else you guys want to touch on before we get into some of our pop culture? By the way, I'll plug, while you think about that, I want to plug BVW. I had a great card this past weekend. New tag team titles. Exceptional and Tenacious, they have the titles back as Fresco and De Niro lost. The number one contender for Kevin Duckett's to face is going to be Funny Bone. Frank the Tank's next opponent, well, to be determined. So a lot of great cards. Taco Fest, November 2nd and 3rd up at the Craig's Ranch Park. That's where things will be happening, both November 2nd and 3rd. So keep an eye out on Facebook for that. And also there's something on here about Nightmare of Fremont Street. Why don't you guys talk about that?
FSW show. They're doing a show at the Neonopolis at Fremont Street. The main event is Bateman versus Killer Cross in a casket match.
Oh, my goodness.
Kind of looking forward to seeing that one.
Absolutely.
But it is on a Wednesday night.
But it's late, though. It's late, though, isn't it? It's after us. It's like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I think it starts at like 8. So as soon as we're done here, I'm going over to Fremont.
How's this for a stupid suggestion from one of the oldest guys on this panel? If we know somebody putting the show on, why should we not do a pre-show podcast from 7 to 8 from location? Just putting it out there. Have one of the businesses or people over there sponsor our time there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this a Fremont? Down in Neonopolis?
Yeah, it's at the Neonopolis.
Well, weren't we just talking about a particular business that's over there that is very much into wrestling? I don't know. I'm just saying.
We're going to talk to a certain person at a certain place.
There you go. Our people will talk to you.
Names will be mentioned when cash comes in.
Benjamin and Lincoln.
I feel real nerdy right now.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. All right.
But no, give BVW and FSW. They got good cards coming up for the local indie guys. Funny Bone, obviously, near and dear to my heart.
That guy, you watch him in the ring. He is, first of all, I've never seen crowds really react to a performer like they do with him. His in-ring style is tremendous.
Absolutely.
Deadman and him in a match someday, that would be crazy. Could you imagine that? The Undertaker and Funny Bone together with their demon-esque style?
Well, how about him and Finn Balor?
Oh, yeah, as the Fiend.
Yes.
Fiend. And then throw in the Fiend.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Throw them all creepy in there.
But Bone has definitely put in his years of experience. Yeah. He's great with the kids, great training the kids, good with the fans, no matter what. Last few years, he's been doing trick or treat at my other store at the Galleria Mall. Signing autographs, handing out candy, which scared the what out of some kids. But he's been having a blast with his family, and I asked him this year he is going to enjoy his time with his family. So he will not be doing trick or treat with me, but you know what? I wish him the best, and he deserves the time because he's on the road quite a bit. He
is one busy guy.
And yeah, definitely, I was going to what Thomas said, Chief, near and dear to my heart. My wrestling dad, Nick Bockwinkel, trained Funny Bone, and God rest his soul, taught him the right way to do things.
Justin put in there that Funny Bone reminds me a little bit of the Demon Balor, which is kind of not a bad comparison in a way.
Well, there were some issues there.
Was there?
Yeah, there was.
Seriously?
Some issues there
I didn't
with
know
the
that.
gimmick.
For
And
Funny Bone or for Balor?
for the fact that Balor actually,
Does some stuff that are similar.
yeah.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
So we'll leave it up to Bone
Okay.
if he ever comes
Yeah,
in.
absolutely.
To talk about it if he'd like. But best wishes to the family. Enjoy your Halloween.
And Thomas is behind us doing a podcast in Indianapolis. I don't know what that means. I don't know what his role would be in that, but he likes the idea.
Absolutely.
So anyway,
See
okay.
what we can make happen.
All right, so we have about 7 minutes left. Is there anything in particular on the wrestling part of tonight's show we want to address before we totally change gears and talk about
I'm kind of
anything?
curious if anybody's really interested in the Strowman and Tyson Fury match.
No.
Okay, me neither. I have no.
Neither
interest.
am I about Cain Velasquez and Lesnar, to
Yeah.
be honest with you.
And I think that's why they actually pulled Seth Rollins out of the team and put him versus Fiend, because I think they realized, two major teams going at it, okay, kind of good. Fury, okay, we need a good match. And
Yeah, we need something that people tune in
that'll
on.
listen, and watch.
But supposedly the Kings or whatever they are out in Saudi Arabia, they're the ones that tell Vince what they want at these shows. For the amount they're paying the WWE, they're dictating who they want there.
Pretty
Absolutely.
much booked the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Right.
booked the show. I mean, that's why Taker came back. That's why Goldberg came back for
Right.
those shows.
Which are
Right.
forgettable.
Yeah, absolutely
They're like-
forgettable. But I think that's why Vince realized he's got to get at least some viewership over here to keep it
Right.
relevant.
Right.
So I think he just kind of massaged it a little bit this time.
And I
Yeah.
am not impressed with Team Hogan, to be honest with you.
I'm not impressed with either team, to be honest with you.
Shorty Gable, couldn't they have done something better with him? Shorty Gable.
That was
come
Shorty G.
on. Well, now it's Shorty G, even
It's
worse.
even shorter.
Okay, but I agree with you. I don't care about Strowman and Fury. I don't care about Velasquez and Lesnar either. So
The only thing I wanted to touch on, did you guys see that Bleacher Report
about
they said they listed the top 7 people that are best on the mic in AEW
oh
and
yes,
WWE.
yes. Let's talk about that before
That's
we
like the
Wait
face
a
palm
second.
motion. That was like my face palm
face.
moment of the week.
So
How was Brock Lesnar on this list?
I'm so glad you and I thought when you sent that out, I thought it was a typo because I didn't see the
I
original
thought
article.
when I saw Lesnar, I thought it was the worst on the mic. There's a reason why Paul Heyman's there. He's
My
got a little
goodness.
girl voice, too many steroids. I'm just putting it out there.
So why don't you share the top 7 you have with the listeners?
On this actual list, they have number 7, Brock Lesnar, number 6, Jon Moxley, number 5, Daniel Bryan, number 4, Kevin Owens, number 3, Samoa Joe, number 2, The Miz, and Jericho is number 1.
Well, I can see number 1 and number 2.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
the rest of them, what? If only Walt Disney had their imagination.
I don't know. I
I
think
don't see any of those guys.
you don't
being
think Daniel
relevant.
Bryan should be a little bit higher? I like Daniel Bryan.
Daniel
on the mic.
Bryan should be on that list.
He should be on the
okay.
list.
I mean, I'm not always right, but
Kevin Owens, when he gets rolling and he does a shoot promo of sorts, he's terrific. The stuff he did with Shane,
yes.
I thought was terrific.
Why was Bray Wyatt not on this list?
That's a great question because does he really, as the Fiend, does he really do anything on the mic? No.
Not really, but when he was Bray Wyatt, like actual Bray Wyatt.
Before.
Yeah.
You can't count him as the Firefly
True.
Funhouse guy. He's not really promoing there. So I
Yeah.
don't, if they looked at all of the guys on the mic, but let me ask you this
This
question.
is just the guys.
Yeah,
Was
this,
there anybody after this?
it's a good question.
Yeah.
They just said anybody in WWE and AEW. So
Becky, I
Today?
Becky should be on
Becky's
that list.
on the list.
You- today?
Alexa,
Alexa should be on that list.
for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moment of bliss. No, but are these wrestlers of today?
Yeah, it just said currently in WWE
Okay.
and
Okay.
AEW.
I want to talk one day about the Mount Rushmore of mic workers
Absolutely.
from the past. That should be a great topic of debate over, discussion.
Yeah.
So let's make a mental note of that so that we can remember what we talked about.
People give us input on that one, I'm sure.
You have we pulled up that we talked about Jake Atlas. He's the first openly gay wrestler in the company, and you noted on there Pat Patterson. I don't know if he was as open when he performed
You're right.
in the
Was
days.
it?
Certainly Sonya
But
Deville.
Sonya Deville sure is.
Yeah.
How about Darren Young? Did we
Yeah,
forget
he
about
was-
Darren Young
Yeah.
Yeah.
with Titus O'Neil? I mean, he may not be performing in the WWE right now, but he was part of it. And to my
Absolutely.
knowledge, he came out before Sonya,
Yeah.
certainly.
Chris
And
Canyon.
there's a lot of guys. So I don't know why
Well,
they're touting him as the first openly gay.
I think because of social media today and the new movements and things like that, Vince had to say something. and get it out there to create controversy. Just like he says, the first ever women's tag team champion. They had women's tag team champions years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So wrestling, there's no real history. You can change it.
That's true. You can make the history books and the record books read anything that you want, but
Changes weekly.
and I think part of it is maybe that they looked at him as the first ever because he's coming out gay from the start.
Correct.
These other people came out later on.
Sure.
Okay, couple of pop culture topics to wrap up the show. So why don't you guys pick one off the list? Leave the last one for me. I want that one since I put it on, not the one that I talked
I
about
want the number
pre-meeting.
one since I'm a huge Star Wars.
Then go
geek.
for it. You take Star Wars.
First of all, the trailer, the third trailer, the end trailer, it's out. It brought tears to my eyes. Yes, I'll geek out there or nerd. And
the Wolverine cried.
exactly. But, come week before Christmas, I know where I'm going to be here at the Boulevard Mall at the Galaxy Movie Theaters, right there. Only 75-foot digital screen in America.
That's all?
I'll be joining you because that
Matt was
theater is
there.
epic.
You got to, if you have not seen a 75-foot screen, which nobody has, come to the Boulevard Mall, theater number 2.
Think 7 of these. And iron.
But
Little
Matt,
cleaner.
Unwrinkled.
Matt and the family went with me to see Avengers there. We all walked in for the first time to see that screen and went, holy shit. And I can say that on a podcast.
Yes, you can.
But the trailer itself, hopefully J.J. Abrams brings it back to the Star Wars epic.
Prominence.
Because, I happened to see Darth Vader.
I'm waving some
recently.
folks in. I'm
Yes,
not like
way.
making air.
Yes.
Hey guys.
I went to Disney.
How you guys doing?
And did the Star Wars Galaxy and basically saw Darth Vader there. And they told me, ask him anything you want. Most people ask general questions of, is the Force with me? My question to him was, why did Ryan Johnson ruin the last episode? And he literally just shook his head and walked away. I was like, okay, cool.
I'm going off script here.
Okay, off script.
Because we have 2 individuals that
Yes.
just came in the store, and we just got out of the bag that you're a WWE fan. Big, who's your favorite? Come on around. Because people think I'm talking to nobody when I do this. I am talking to somebody. Just watch the wire there.
And
Come
she
on.
can go out and film the monitor.
Yeah, go ahead up to the monitor. So
Absolutely.
why don't you
might
come
run
around?
Long, but hey, we're just
Hey.
following WWE.
it's our show. Come on around. No, come on up. Come on around the table.
From there, what's on the internet.
Mike, yeah, we got wires all over the place, so you can duck under that if you would. There we go. So
And if
come
any
on,
customer comes down here, they're more than welcome.
come on in
to join
between
the
us.
show. Yeah.
Come on over here this way. There you are. Now that's it. Okay, so thank you for stopping. What is your name?
Raul,
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Roman Reigns.
Today, how about in the past? How long have you been following wrestling?
Oh, maybe almost 30 years now.
Who was the first wrestler that you watched and said, "Wow, this is pretty cool"?
Oh, it was Macho Man.
Macho Man.
yeah.
Oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim.
Better you than me.
So
We're going to give you a Slim Jim later.
we're gonna maybe a little harder because it may not be fresh. But anyway, so what shows do you like to watch today?
If there is anyone between Roman Reigns and any other opponent, I would love.
So Roman Reigns against anybody.
Against anybody.
Roman against Hulk Hogan.
Oh, Hulk Hogan, no, it's too old now.
All right, how about this one? Roman against the Fiend.
Yes.
You would take him. He would take him.
Right.
Okay, how about Roman and
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins?
Roman, Seth Rollins, yeah, that could be a good match too. Because
Roman?
it's hard to say. It's hard to
Jump
say.
ship there.
It's hard to say.
Have you gone to see any live wrestling shows in town or ever?
No, not in town, in Connecticut.
What shows? Live shows, pay-per-views?
No, live shows.
Connecticut.
Which is the
I'm
home of
assuming the old WWF.
That's right. That's where it
with
used to
the
be in
Brando
Stanford.
with
Yeah.
Bruno Sammartino,
Right.
Bob Backlund.
Right.
Yes.
That's correct.
He goes
Nice.
back to my history. And if Dino Danelli's out there listening,
Yeah.
I actually
Score a
saw
big one.
Bob Backlund beat superstar Billy Graham for the title in the Garden in 1976.
Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, yeah,
Madison Square Garden was the mecca of wrestling location.
yeah. That was a great place, for wrestling.
Did you ever?
Time ago. Yeah.
Oh, long time. Did you see any matches in the garden?
I went there.
Who'd you see in the garden?
But I don't remember because I watched so many wrestling. I cannot remember. Believe me.
Do you ever watch it live here in town anywhere?
No, not in town.
Well, you got to get it. There's a lot of local promotion. SmackDown was just here a couple of Fridays ago.
Yeah. Where is that?
Well, SmackDown was at the T-Mobile Arena.
Well, T-Mobile Arena. Right in here
Yep.
in Las Vegas.
Now they cut. WWE does come here maybe once or twice a year.
Okay.
What do you think about maybe WrestleMania coming here to the new Allegiant Stadium someday?
That would be a great thing for Las Vegas. Oh yeah, if I'm here, I'll be going.
So you're do we have we might.
I might.
Do we have anything for him?
Absolutely. Linda, my store manager.
We're going to give you a present for coming in as a
absolutely.
wrestling fan.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm a big fan.
Is this it right here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, for coming in, you get a grab bag envelope of,
All right.
if you want to open it on camera, off camera, but you've got wrestling autographed pictures in there.
There's at least 5 of them in there.
Right.
5 autographed photos from
Wow.
today and yesteryear.
Yeah.
Chief was down here in his bag. He got Jake the Snake Roberts and
Okay.
and they're all
Oh, Jake the Snake Robert. Like
Yes.
that was a good one too.
Yep.
There's like
Yeah.
Nick Bockwinkel in
Yeah.
some of them,
Uh-huh.
Vampiro. Well,
Yeah.
Okay,
Hot
so
Topic.
here's the thing. You guys now are permanent fans of the Thoughts Count. Are you guys on Facebook? Okay, you can go out and like our page, our Facebook page.
thoughts.
Then you
count
can share
anywhere.
Thoughts Count anywhere.
Okay.
We'd love for you to stay in touch with us and come down and visit us any Wednesday night.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you for stopping by.
All right.
Happy holidays to you upcoming.
Holidays.
All right. Okay.
Thank you for
Happy
coming in.
holiday.
All right, enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you. See, now there's a fan of pro wrestling that goes back to the. Oh, hold on, he's going to hang himself on the wires here. Death
The
by
person
wires.
we were supposed to hang.
That's right. That's right. You remember Al Snow, right? That kind of is our Al Snow, right? Guys, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for stopping in. See, that's what I love, spur of the moment stuff, you know, and that's what he's loving.
He's
His,
getting real close to Johnny at the moment.
he's loving his head over there. But anyway, that's the power of our outside TV, because they were walking by. I saw them look up. She paused for just a second, enough for me to wave him in. And look, we had a
Absolutely.
huge wrestling fan
Yep.
walk by. Anyway, okay. Pop culture, Star Wars trailer. I'm sorry. I know we kind of stepped on the end of that with having
who
him come in.
cares? All I say is go see it, watch the trailer, come down to the Boulevard Mall, go to the Galaxy movie theater, stop into Power Play, and we'll have Star Wars stuff in here.
Absolutely. All right, real quickly, pick a topic before we sign off.
All right. Did you guys see the SNL did a spoof of the Joker movie about how Oscar the Grouch became Oscar the Grouch?
No.
No, but I'm gonna
That
have to.
thing is so freaking funny. You have to see it. Everyone out there, search it on YouTube.
Oscar the Grouch is the Joker.
I'm gonna show you guys right after we done
Okay.
doing
Oh,
this. But
Absolutely.
it's great. You must watch it.
My thought is very simple like this. Another White Castle store is opening up in Vegas. I need one in Summerlin. Enough of this stuff on the strip. I need one up on my house because I'm not going to the strip to get me a White Castle burger.
My
Charmin stock is gonna jump.
My
Not only
understand-
Charmin stuck, but my bariatric doctor's going to say, what the hell were you thinking?
I guess it's gonna be over in Harmon in Paradise, which isn't too far from my house.
Yeah, that's not where the
There's a Checkers there now.
Right, the old Checkers was
they're
there.
remodeling
Exactly.
some of those old Checkers stores.
Stock up on toilet paper.
man, and acid
I
and
remember when they were
Pepto-Bismol.
15 cents. Does that age me? And
Listen,
for one of my coworkers
Absolutely.
at my other job, you know, that was during Nam, right?
oh my God,
There's
turn
one on
nom.
Fremont. It ain't 15 cents no more.
No,
It's
they're
like
not.
4 little burgers and a drinks. Like
I met you after work one
$12
time, and
now.
I basically I went and grabbed 4 burgers. I figured it'd be like letters. I think I broke a 50.
Oh crap.
Yeah, that's-
Ridiculous.
My wife and I, when we first started dating, there was a White Castle not far from our house, and our Saturday night consisted of getting a bag of a dozen, the dozen, 2 milkshakes. Now that's the worst thing you can do with White Castle
The milkshakes.
is the milkshake, because then it keeps all that stuff in. It's like cement. It just hardens your arteries, and your bathroom ability sinks to a new low.
I think we just sunk to a new low.
I think we just sunk to a new low. So on that, okay, even Justin agrees with me. Summerlin-ish. That's fine. All right. So tonight's been a great show. We want to thank everybody for watching, following. We appreciate you resharing. To our guest that just popped in on a live show, you never know what happens. And the best part is he's a huge wrestling fan. Just out of nowhere. He follows today, but he's started 30 years ago, which is tremendous. He has spanned the ages. So, gentlemen, final thoughts. Oh, by the way, let's get final thoughts from Johnny Head over there. Anything, Johnny?
Nothing.
That's the first word he said all night. Final thoughts before we close out there, Mr. Scott.
I'm just gonna toss the mic, drop it. Matt, you take over.
There you go. Matt, final thoughts.
Oh Lord.
Any
Hope
final
everyone
thoughts?
has a great week. Follow us on all our social medias. We have some exclusive stuff coming.
Oh, yeah.
Some giveaways, some interviews. Keep in touch. You never know what might happen with Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Make sure you follow us on our Facebook page, Thoughts Count Anywhere, because that's where all the news is happening. That's everything that we do right there. And so, so for Johnny Head, Scott the Wolverine, for Matt the 49er, and for yours truly, the G-Man, I am Aaron Phillips saying good night. Thank you for watching. Be sure to tune us next week, 7 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you.
Go Knights, go.